Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Nasty Moto, and we are back here with the Bob build, and this is part 3. So things are getting pretty crazy, and I'll show you guys what we're working with today. All right, so in the last video, you guys saw us completely cut out the bottom of the Wave Blaster 2, and we obviously have that right here, right next to the 300 SX hull. And I know a lot of you guys in the comments were concerned with how far the engine was, forward, because this is out of a couch, and I just want to let you guys know that this is out of a Wave Blaster 2, obviously. So the drive shaft and the whole drivetrain assembly is a little bit shorter than your normal couches, so I think it's going to work just fine. I should be able to, go a little past the firewall or the bulkhead, whatever you guys want to call it, but I should be able to, stick this, a little farther past that to get the motor, as far back as possible. And so with that, I'll have the pump sticking out just a little bit more, and I think that should be fine. I mean, I'm a 200, pound person, so in order to get this thing to actually rotate, I think it's actually doable. We will also be decutting the ride plate. So what that helps with is to have the bottom end, or this end of the ski, way down lower in the water, and obviously that will help us flip. And another thing to help us flip, we'll have trim on it. So this comes normal or stock with trim. So you can see there, it has a cable, which, is routed right through here. So we'll have that mounted up. So we'll have trim, we'll have the D-cut, we'll have it as far as back as possible. I don't plan to make this thing super heavy, but I mean, we are gonna be doing glass work, so it really just depends how much glass work we do. Also, we are going to be rockering the front end on the 300 SX, so probably going to be cutting that section out and then just making it smooth in order to help pop off the water a little bit more. So we are doing a lot of things to help this thing flip, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Obviously nobody does, but hopefully by the end of it, it's going to flip off of at least a boat weight. But I don't plan to flat water flip this thing. I don't plan to be doing any double backflips or anything. I just, it's something cheap, and I'm a broke college student, so the budget's like $1,500 compared to any bob skis normally that are like, $5-6 grand. So that's why I'm doing it this way, and we'll just see how it works out. So I think our next step is going to be to chop up the 300 SX. It can be kind of a shame, but it's what we got to do in order to, get this build continuing. So yeah, we're gonna flip this thing over, chop it. I also believe we're gonna chop these rails just like halfway down in order to get more tray room, so you can put like footholds or foot straps. But yeah, I think our first step is definitely gonna be to cut the bottom out and just see how this fits in the 300 SX. So let's get to chopping. Oh man, all right, so the 300 SX was much harder than the Wave Blaster, because obviously there's all this foam that had to be cut through. Yeah, as you can see, here's the bottom, 300 SX, and One more piece of the puzzle. So I'll give you guys a little bit better viewpoint on the cuts that I actually did. So on the inside, obviously I just cut it, right below the bulkhead and did that all around. Obviously cut the bottom, and then the footwell, I just cut a square in that. And eventually the foam broke loose, and it really wasn't that bad, but it definitely is, or definitely was a lot harder than the wave blaster. So I'm obviously gonna have to trim more up here. I just really wanted to leave, as much glass as I could just to help the rigidity. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and lay this part on top of our bottom and see how much we're gonna actually have to cut. There she is, 100% complete. She's ready to be flipped. But nah, I'm just playing. So yeah, obviously, as you can see, definitely needs a lot more trimming. And even up here, the motor mount is right there. And yeah, you can only see one of the motor mounts. So I'm gonna have to trim quite a bit more up here. But yeah, take off that tube of exhaust. And then I'm probably gonna go ahead and trim up the pump tunnel just so I can get a better idea of what actually needs to go and what can stay. So yeah, trim up the pump tunnel, trim up that front end piece, and then obviously in here, and try to get a better fitment going. So let's see. All right, so I went ahead and set the top onto the bottom of the wave blaster, and this is where the motor is going to sit. And as you can see, it's really not too far forward, and I think I can possibly get it even back a little more. The hole's not lining up exactly because the exhaust is fitting, and we're not going to be using that exhaust. Like I said before, we're most likely going to use a combination of a 701 exhaust and a 650 exhaust. So we're just gonna have to, modify something, hopefully modify it so it goes, around the front, and possibly do a rear exhaust. I'm not sure how that's gonna work exactly, but that's the plan for right now. So yeah, we have the motor in there, obviously not, secure or anything, but the bottom edge lines up pretty mint, and the pump tunnel is going to stick up a little bit. It's going to have a little hump where the normal foot, well would be, but I mean, it's a 155 millimeter pump, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. And we still need to chop the side rails, and I think we'll be good to go after that. So yeah, she's turning out pretty good, slow but steady progress. And just like that, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any suggestions, definitely leave them down in the comment section, and make sure to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.